I was kind of bored by high school, so I started looking at colleges like really early on. I was really focused on going to school super far away from home, actually. I was kind of seriously looking at going to school like in Washington State or Oregon. I was like looking through what it would look like to get on Washington State Medicaid. That ended up being really a hassle to just like get PCA care and everything that I need over there. And my senior year of high school, I actually took a couple classes here at St. Mike's, and I like made some friends. One of which I still live with, and I've lived with for 2 years, which is awesome. I liked it there. Like I liked the social atmosphere and classes and people. And so when I found out my original plan kind of fell through, I was like, well, why don't I just go there? And then I ended up living with a guy that I already knew, who's a good friend of mine, and yeah, I quite like it here.
I always thought that I would like go to a school that was kind of like far away from home and like somewhere that was like warm and like sunny. I was like, I'm going to California. Like that's like priority one. But like since UVM made the most financial sense, ended up going there. And honestly, like I really love going to school close to home. Like it's so convenient if you ever like need anything. It was really not an issue of like feeling like I was too close to home because college really is like its own little world, and like Burlington gets so much bigger when you go to school there because like there's just so much that you didn't really know existed, especially on campus. I picked UVM because it made financial sense, but I ended up loving it because of like the community there and like all the opportunities on campus that I hadn't known existed.
I wanted a college that had like a lot of options. I figured UVM was the best for that in Vermont. Um, and I also wanted something that was convenient, travel wise and stuff. For a long time, I thought that I was going to go to college in Florida because my dad was talking about moving to Florida when by the time that I graduated high school, but he didn't. So I was like, I guess I'm staying in Vermont. And that was kind of like a really easy choice for me to choose UVM. If things change, I could always transfer or whatever. And I'm keeping that option open for myself.
I wanted like a more rural area because I really hate cities. NVU Johnson is more like rural. So that is the most important factor to me. It's just in general, if it's kind of close to home, NVU is about 40 minutes from my house, so it's not too far away.
I chose VTC because it's close enough to home where on weekends and stuff I can still go home and see my friends and family. And I really like their program for Diesel because a lot of it's hands-on. VTC is more realistic, and I feel like it helps you better prepare for the real world once you get out. VTC was my first choice, and it was the only one I applied to because I always said that I was never going to go to college, but then I was like, man, that doesn't seem bad. I'll apply there.
The reason why I chose Champlain is the financial aid package that they offered me, and also the distance for my family, right in Burlington, which is perfect for my mother. And then also the program that they had, the Upside Down curriculum was really what excited me to be able to be like, okay, I can go into this classroom as a first year and start learning about what I want my degree in.
I was looking for an equestrian school, and there's a lot of schools that have riding teams, but not programs. So that kind of narrowed down the search quite a lot. I think there was like maybe 4 or 5 schools in total that I was looking at. And then after that, it kind of just became a matter of what the schools offered for their programs and how hands-on they are, because I didn't really want to be sitting in a classroom all the time. And Findlay just they're really hands-on. Like I'm in the barn every day, even on weekends to do things. You get assigned your own horse. Like all of our class time is in the barn, but you still have your science classes and your on-campus classes. So it's not like you're literally outside all day, but that was a big factor for me.
I found a really great teacher at Vermont Adult Learning, and she was my mentor and my teacher, and she did almost all of my classes with me. It was like one-on-one with her. She was really amazing. But before she would sign my diploma, she made me meet with VSAC and meet with CCV because she knew that I had potential, but I didn't think that I did, and I didn't think that we could afford college or that it would be something that I could do. in my like I just didn't think so with a kid, and like I was just like, it's too much, I can't afford it, there's no way. So she made me meet with VSAC because they showed me, of course, all the grants and the scholarships and everything that you can get to help. And then she made me meet with CCV, and that's when I met my advisor and my VSAC advisor, and then they just have helped me ever since, and they're amazing.
As soon as my senior year came around, I was like, all right, well, I clearly did not do my due diligence in trying to get different scholarships. I knew I didn't have the money to just pay for school outright. I knew I didn't have the money to travel, and I knew I just didn't have a really good game plan for a job. And I also didn't want to just stay in Vermont. I love Vermont and I definitely want to come back to it, but I didn't want to, be one of those people who just stayed in Vermont their whole life. I wanted to get out and see things. I had a cousin who was in the Coast Guard. He retired as an officer in 2002. So I went up to Station Burlington for the day and checked them out and did a little tour. The military is definitely a good way for you to be like, all right, well, I don't know what to do, so I got to do something. So, I mean, the Coast Guard's definitely kind of figured out or helped me figure out what I really want to do in the future.